recently, I believe I found this about like last week, 2 weeks ago, that Millennium is deciding to reboot Hellboy again.
That can't be
Last week, they announced that they just casted their lead, their Hellboy, and it's going to be actor Jack Casey. I think that's how you say his name. And
I've never heard of him.
Yeah, so he was known for being on the show The Strain. I'd never seen The Strain.
I saw The Strain.
Yeah, you like
that?
it?
You know what?
You know
I
who
think
else
that
was
was
in this?
Del Toro thing, though.
That was
So
Del
maybe-
Toro, and it starred Corey Stoll was also in it.
There's only Monarch!
He was really good on it, but he did not play a Hellboy character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was not like a Hellboy type character. So I don't know how well he'd do as Hellboy, but.
And the thing is, like, actually, the production on the film is going to be titled Hellboy: The Crooked Man, and the production actually starts this month, and it's going to be directed by Brian Taylor, who's known for doing who's a co-director on the Crank series with Jason Statham.
What?
What the fuck?
Like, the moment I heard that bit of news, I was like, wait a minute. I don't know if I want the guy that did Crank to do Hellboy. Like that's
If it's not a Del Toro Hellboy, I don't want it.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, honestly.
On second thought. Got it.
and here's the thing, right? It's just like the fact that we just got off of David Harbour's Hellboy reboot in 2019, which I will say is that movie's not good, but I didn't think David Harbour did that bad of a job. I thought he did all right.
That's because he's David Harbour, and
That's true.
you could give him a wet paper bag and tell him to like act with it, and he could get like at least something somewhat entertaining out of it. It's just that like the vast majority of that movie was like just like they put like 10 times the amount of Hellboy comic characters in there, and they just followed. Didn't they follow they followed the last volume of the comic book, which was weird.
Yeah,
And I didn't really get that. And I was like, what?
They did the Wild Hunt. They did the Wild Hunt, and they
Yeah,
did.
and I was like, that's the last one where you find out he's like the descendant of King Arthur.
Mm-hmm.
Not like the first, and that's why I didn't get that at first. And then like, it was just like really not well written at all, or
Exactly.
directed, or edited.
We used to play guitar, man. You'd play all that hippie acoustic crap, and I'd play real music. It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Yeah, it was bad all around. Like, well,
It was-
it was like some of the performances were good, but like the writing wasn't all there. The editing was terrible. Cool moments though. Like my favorite moment in that movie was when you see Hellboy seeing what he would be like in the apocalypse, and like we said, he's like fucking flying a dragon and shit.
It's got like some cool shots, but like you can't really make an hour and a half, 2 hour Hellboy movie with just some cool shots. You know what I mean?
2 hours later.
The story will follow Hellboy, the summoned demon turned reluctant hero, as he's teamed up with a rookie agent to uncover a secluded witch community in 1950s Appalachia. The script draws from the comic Hellboy: The Crooked Man, which debuted in July 2008, and Mike Mignola, I believe, is co-writing this one as well. He's co-writing it, so he's gonna actually have like an actual stake in the film, which wasn't the case the last time because people thought that he was part of had a more close hand on the Hellboy reboot in 2019, but no, he just had his name attached to it. He wasn't actually involved, which is what was a part of the problem. So yeah.
I'm glad they're adapting because I read The Crooked Man when I was doing. I got all the Hellboy volumes and I just read all Hellboy. I think it was like 2018, and I'm glad they're adapting just like one of the short, like, side stories. That's not like one of the big overarching plot volumes, because the Crooked Man's like, it's fun. It's just like a fun little Hellboy side story. So I don't think that like they don't really have to go too crazy for this one for it to be good. Whereas like Hellboy 2019, you were adapting the climax of the comic book that had everything, like, you know what I mean? That's what everything was building towards. So like they kind of had to have all these kind of really crazy shots and visual effects scenes where Hellboy was fighting like all hell breaking loose. But like this one, it's literally just like there's a couple of like cool fights that are just like really like low key, where he's like fighting witches, and you're like, oh, that's not gonna be like. I don't think the guy from Crank is a very good choice, because that's just like such a
Yeah.
it's such a weird thing to be like, we're getting this dude who we know has not directed really anything like too incredible.
Because the last
And listen,
thing he did was Crank 2, and then he did Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, we Mikey, we kind of we fuck with Spirit of Vengeance.
Yeah, we kind of fuck with that movie.
Don't get it twisted, okay?
Yeah, boy. A few moments later.
If I were to do Hellboy, right, I would just make it a like 10-episode series, put it on a streaming service, and like do that format of like how Mignola does the storytelling, where it's like a main overarching story, but with side stories and stuff tying it together, and like him just Hellboy just in the B parody, just going around and just solving paranormal mysteries and killing monsters and demons and shit, and then doing the whole Unknown Rama stuff, overarching that entire story. That's what I would have personally done, and like do some like horror stuff and do some action stuff. I would have gone the TV route. I agree, TV. You're like doing an HBO Max 9-episode series. I wouldn't have made it a Hellboy series. I would have made it a BRPD series. Mm-hmm.
So it follows like the agency as a whole. I'm more excited for that Hellboy video game that looks like you're just playing the comic. Honestly,
yeah. I forget what it's called, but the Book of Weird, thing.
Yeah.
That looks great. I think it's Lance Reddick voicing Hellboy.
To stab back. What are you? Me? I'm mad. That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
See? What? You couldn't have got him to play Hellboy in the movie, too?
Yeah, that'd been sick.
What the hell?